Good morning. Welcome to SP Streamer Live. I'm your host, Michael Simione. You can follow me on Twitter at SP Streamer. As I shift this real quick, today we're going to go through the streaming chart as per usual. We're going to talk about why this week might be difficult when it comes to streaming. And then we're also going to talk about a website that I haven't seen talked about a lot. So I'm going to go through it real quick. I don't know if people really know it's out there. I guess we'll see. I just haven't really seen people mention it, so I'm gonna talk about that too towards the end. So first, real quick, let's go through the streamer chart. And here's today's options. We're going with Mike Minor, Merrill Kelly, James Caprillion. They all have good matchups. I'm going to point out first, real quick. So I mean, you're going to see the Mets obviously look like they're hitting as of late. So I want to look real quickly at the leaders in the last 7 days when it comes to offenses. So you're going to see some weird things here, right? You're going to see the Mets towards the top, which doesn't make a lot of sense because their offense hasn't been good. Then you're going to see Seattle towards the top here too. Then you have Miami. Then you have Pittsburgh. So all of these offenses have been terrible all year. Well, the Mets have been bad as of late because of their injuries, which they still have those injuries. And all of a sudden they're towards the top. So does that mean we can stream against them? So it's tough to tell. And then if you come towards the bottom, then you have the Nationals who are competent, Phillies who are competent, Yankees who are competent. You even have Oakland and the Padres down here. And those offenses have typically been good. And now they're at the bottom. So that's going to make things difficult. And the reason for that is because we don't know if when the cold streak's going to end or when the hot streaks are going to end. So you're going to have to capture these streams at the right time. Because what if you do stream against the Mets, but then they come out and put up over 10 runs again? What if you say, oh, the Yankees are cold, let's stream against them. We stream against them, and all of a sudden Judge and Stanton are hitting 3 home runs in a game. So it's tough, and that's going to make this week tough. I think a lot of these stats, though, are a little off because of all the postponements. So, for instance, like my one of my picks, Merrill Kelly, for deep leagues is against the Mets, right? But they have like the second and third highest WRC plus in the last 7 days. Here's the thing: the Mets had one good game. They killed in that game. They had postponement, so they've only really played like 4 games last week, so it's a little skewed. So I don't think they're that good, basically. I mean, I'm a Mets fan, I would know, and I think Kelly's going to be a safe stream against them. And then as for Pitt basically went off against the Colorado Rockies pitchers, and they're not really good. So I think they just had a really good matchup, and they're actually going to be pretty mediocre still when it comes to, typical normal pitchers, I would say, because the Rockies pitchers are just really bad on the road. So which is weird. You think they'd be better, but this year it's been kind of flipped. I know it makes no sense, but you just got to kind of ride with it because that's what's happening. All right. So anyway, so Mike Minor against Pitt, Kelly against the Mets, Caprillion against Seattle. I like all 3 of those. Vince Velasquez is a good matchup against the Reds as well. You could take that if you want. Tyon, the Rays hit righties good. But I think Tyon's going to be much better moving forward, so I wouldn't mind taking him either. Then you have some other options. Tyler Alexander is interesting. A lot of strikeout potential there. He gets Milwaukee, but he's hard to trust overall, so that's why he's still down there for right now. Moving on to tomorrow, we got Brady Singer against Pitt. Again, just mentioned them, talked about them. Urena is not confirmed, but it looks like he should be pitching tomorrow. He gets Milwaukee. They only have a 74 WRC plus the last 14 days. They don't really hit righties. They're better against left-handed pitchers. So I feel like if Urena does actually start, again, not confirmed, but if he does start, then I think that's going to be a good matchup. I am very tempted to take Dane Dunning going into Colorado. The Rockies have been really bad at home and on the road, but I don't know. It's so hard to stream in cores because I feel like they could pop at any moment, but they've just been so bad where like it might make sense to take a risk at streaming a good pitcher like Dane Dunning in Colorado. It's a risk, but if you want to take it, I can't blame you. Then you got Luis Garcia, who's been pitching phenomenally. He's going against Boston, though. Tough offense, especially against righties. Caleb Smith's going to be interesting against the Mets. He did go 70 pitches recently, I think. So I don't think he's really going to be held back. So I think that's actually a good matchup, especially let's see what the Mets do. If their offense isn't good today, then he's definitely a viable option moving forward. This is definitely off. This should be versus Arizona. I got to fix that. Garrett Richards gets Houston. Not a good matchup, obviously. The rest of these guys I basically wouldn't touch. We're going to do 6-2 and 6-3 together real quick. We got Alzolay against the Padres. Alzolay's been pitching really well. Sub-4 ERA. Cubs haven't really been gaining many wins, though. The Padres don't strike out a lot, and Alzolay needs strikeouts. So I feel like this is kind of like a who's going to give here. So I'm going to give this a 7-0. I think it's a decent stream. I just I don't know if he's going to get the strikeouts, and that's what you want from Alzolay. Smiley gets Washington. They've been struggling big time. Soto's been average. Their offense just can't get going. I mean, the only one who's been really consistent there is Turner. Smiley's been good. I just don't have a lot of faith in him. Those strikeouts could come, but I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to give him a 6-8. I usually actually rate him lower, but because the matchup makes sense. Carlos Martinez has been good, but against the Dodgers, we'll 6-5 that. Flexing gets Oakland. They basically have not been in on base as of late. Flexing's been really good at home, but Oakland hits righties a lot better than lefties, so I'm going to give that a 6-7. Spencer Howard. All right. Really interesting pitcher. He's been good in short spurts, but the command is an issue. And every time he gets further into a game, the command kind of gives out, and then he gives up those walks. I'm not ready to stream him yet. He does face Cincy, which is a good matchup, but I think I'm going to keep holding off until I see him improve that command, and I don't see him struggling later into games and not getting pulled in the fourth inning like usual. We got McClanahan going against Yankees. They've been struggling. I mentioned earlier they can go off at any time. I always am torn by them streaming against them, but McClanahan has just been so good. If he's somehow still out there, I think this is the right way to go. Just because they're letting him go 5 innings now. He has so much strikeout potential. The Yankees swing and miss a ton. I'm going to give this a 7-4. Then you got Domnak going against Baltimore. Baltimore has actually been a tough offense to stream against. They strike out a ton, which doesn't matter when it comes to Domnak. But they get hits. They get home runs. Mancini's been really good. Santander's back. So I don't trust this. I actually haven't really streamed against them just because I think they're dangerous. And then plus, in Baltimore, that ballpark's always hitter friendly. So we'll give this a 6-5. Vladimir Gutierrez, I think I'm pronouncing that right. He gets Philly, who's been struggling. No Harper. I am streaming against them. If I have the opportunity. Gutierrez looked really good his first outing. Really low whip, didn't provide a lot of walks, had a good amount of strikeouts. I liked his stuff. I think this is an option. I'm going to give him a 7-0. Lyles. So you got Lyles in Colorado, Senstel at home in Colorado. Not touching either of them. I don't trust either of them. I know I just mentioned I would think about streaming in Colorado because, again, the Rockies have just been so bad offensively, even at home. So I think it's an option, but not with pitchers we don't trust. I don't trust either of these guys. Again, at Dane Dunning, I trust a little more than them. I'm going to give them both a 6-0 there. All right, so we're going to move on to the third. Not a lot of pitchers have been confirmed. I think there's not that many starts either. This is what we got so far. Canyon at Seattle, love it. Big strikeout pitcher against an offense that strikes out a ton. Klenek hasn't really helped them at all there. So I think that offense is still extremely, like, any chance you get, go against them. I definitely, you got to take it. I really like this matchup. I'm going to give it 7-5. Tyler Anderson gets Miami. Anderson has been really good except for his last start. Not a lot of strikeouts, more of a weak contact pitcher. Miami really struggles against lefties, and this makes a ton of sense as well. I'm actually going to give this a 7-5 also. Odorizzi gets Boston. Again, they hit righties well. They're just a good offense. I don't trust Odorizzi at all. I don't think it's that good of stuff, but the Astros are going to just keep throwing him out there because I guess that's what they want to do. John Gray has been good at home. Going against Texas, I mean, toss up, coin flip, I guess. We'll 7-0 with that. Martin Perez has been really good. I know I've talked about him recently, the way he's using his pitches. I think he's put up like one of the best ERAs in the last 5 starts or something like that. He's been really good. But I think it's just kind of riding him hot, and he's just, in the zone right now. So against Houston, I'm not touching him. I'm going to give that a 6-7. Pulte in Colorado, obviously not touching that. We're going to give it a 6-0 right there. So based on these, you're looking like McClanahan on the second, as an option if you're in a shallow league. If you're in a deeper league, or my main pick, I'll basically be going Gutierrez unless the Phillies start taking off, which I don't really see happening. And then on the third, it's obviously Canning or Anderson. I would lead Canning because, I love strikeouts, so I'm going to be going with that. So those will be our future picks. I'm going to actually set that up nicely later. So now I just want to show a website real quick before we go. I know I like to make these kind of on the shorter side during the week, especially since the holiday. Everyone's got things to do. So there's a website called theanalyst.com. I don't know if a lot of people know of this website, and they look at, a lot of cool analytics. But what I love on this website is that they have Command Plus. So I don't know if anyone follows Eno Saris. I hope you all do. Basically like the best pitching analyst there is. He uses Command Plus a lot, and he uses something called Stuff Metrics as well when he looks at analyzing his pitchers. Command Plus, basically what it does is it takes what a pitcher is trying to do and sees how often they accomplish it. So let's say a catcher lines up, bottom right zone curveball, right? So does the pitcher hit it, right? Does the pitcher hit the glove, or is he accidentally throw it above the zone? So it's a good way to measure command, because sometimes pitchers purposely target outside the zone. You want to get a chase outside the zone. So Command Plus basically just takes everything a pitcher's trying to do and sees if they can actually do what they're meaning to do, right? So this is the leaderboard right here, and it's on this website, again, analyst.com. You go to their leaderboards, and it's CMD plus, Command Plus, and obviously Hendricks is at the top. You got Eflin, Malley, Nola, DeGrom, Rio, Greinke, Pablo Lopez, Urias. So this makes a lot of sense, especially Nola's always towards the top because he loves those cold strikes. He always paints the corners. Kyle Hendricks too. Again, big reason why I thought he was going to rebound. Always struggles in the beginning, but the Command Plus is still there. That's all that matters with him. So this is a really cool website and good thing to use. I used to know who started it. I forgot who. Someone that everyone definitely all knows. They also have something called Whiff Plus in here. Basically, it's like a better metric than like whiff, swinging strike. And then they have Swing Strike Plus, and then this is a run value metric right here too. So again, a lot of stuff here. They actually do have hitting stuff also. They have a Discipline Plus metric that I think Eno Saris actually talked about as well, where it takes everything when it comes to plate discipline for hitters and mushes it together, and gives you, who has the best plate discipline, which again makes sense. You got Soto at the top. We all know he has an incredible eye. And then you got Pham up here, Santana always high in the walk category. So a couple interesting things here. If you look down below, I think at the bottom here, they have like explanations too of like how they do their what these metrics mean, all that cool stuff. So again, I don't know. I don't really see people talk about this website. I've used it for a bit now. Again, I'm pretty sure someone big made this, and let's see if I could. I don't know. I'd have to find it. But anyway, so really cool resource. If you haven't used it before, I would suggest using it. Again, analyst.com, especially for that Command Plus metric, because again, the only one who really releases it is Eno Saris, and he just does in his articles from time to time. This gets updated pretty much every day, so it's just something you can get ahead of the game basically. So that about does it. Thank you for anyone watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe to our Twitch and YouTube. It means a ton. We're trying to build those both those platforms on here. If you can follow us on Twitter at SP Streamer, check out our podcast, SP Streamer Podcast. Check out our website, spstreamer.com. SP Streamer everything. That's the way we do it. I hope you all enjoy your day off. I'm sure everyone's barbecuing and stuff, so enjoy that. And thanks again for watching. We'll talk to you.